Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise. Ladies and gentlemen, you're highly welcome to Monday morning edition. Yes, it is a graceful Monday morning. Graceful Monday morning. The most difficult day of the week. Getting up after the weekend and preparing for Monday office is not easy. Dear friend, but I will encourage you, get up and set yourself off to the office, get your job done. Dear friends, it is very important we kick started the week in a very good note. That's why today I have prepared special news items for you. But I'm starting on this note. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Like the video, share the video, and let me hear from you in the comment section. This morning I have a lot of your comments and I'll be bringing as well. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. It is all about football, Chelsea news on international break. Yes, today, tomorrow, the last games of the international break will be over, and our players will be heading back to Cobham. Yes, we'll be heading back to Cobham. As we understand, Pedro Neto should be back at Cobham hopefully today. Pedro Neto should be back today. In fact, Portugal squad, almost 5 players from Portugal squad, from the senior players, were allowed by their head coach to go back to their teams after their last win. Dear friend, quickly, one other national team head coach, that is Belgium. Belgium head coach speaking about Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia, for the first time in a long while, was called for the national team assignment this international break. But the Belgium manager, Domenico Tedesco, spoke on Romeo Lavia's condition, and this is what he has to say. Romeo Lavia has a hamstring. Romeo Lavia has a hamstring. It was bothering him this morning and we didn't want to risk him. Dear friends, Romeo Lavia has a hamstring. It was bothering him in the morning and they didn't want to risk him. This was on Saturday. Dear friends, it was bothering him, and the national team head coach said they didn't want to bother him. And listen, he came off versus Arsenal with what looked to be that problem. So likely joined up with it. Tried to train and said no, it's not good, and left the camp. The coach of Belgium says Romeo Lavia came off versus Arsenal game. We remember very well. He came off and we saw him limping. We saw him limping down the tunnel. And we were worried. Now the head coach of Belgium has just confirmed it. That against Arsenal, Romeo Lavia came off with a problem. And he likely came to the camp of the national team with it. He trained and he said no, it's not good. And then he left camp back to Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, our homeboy Romeo Lavia has another hamstring. It depends how serious it is. Are we going to be seeing him against Leicester? We are yet to know. What is happening right now at Cobham? How many players return with injury? Well, against Arsenal, in exception of Romeo Lavia, every other player came out fit. We didn't have any news on injury. Even Romeo Lavia's news didn't come up until now. Now, from the international break, we heard the coach said they didn't want to risk him, and therefore they allowed him to go back. Is he going to be fit, or we are going to be seeing our own Enzo Fernandez taking his position back? Ladies and gentlemen, Romeo Lavia issue. Personally, I knew that this guy is young, and he has a future with Chelsea. He has a future. But the injury situation, if care is not taken, it will keep on distracting his football career. It will keep on distracting him. Right now, how many games down the season? How many games down the season? 11 games. We are not yet at half of the season and a hamstring problem already. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It is what it is. Maybe from tomorrow we'll begin to hear news on the players that are in camp and their medical situation. Dear friends, quickly, before I continue, over the weekend, Chelsea ladies, yes, they successfully beat City 2-0. Ascot star of the match is what you can see on your screen. ascot star of that match with the Chelsea ladies. Right now, Chelsea ladies are on top of the league table. Oh yes, top of the women league table. And Micah Hamano is the ascot star of the match. Yes, he is the ascot star of the match. Dear friend, I think I have the league table. I wanted to show you. Yes, I have it here. Chelsea are leading the table, the women league table, with 21 points. 21 points. And not just that. You see, goal difference. The next following Chelsea is 19. That is Man City. Following Chelsea with 19 points. Right? Alright. Then look at the goal difference. Chelsea scored 22 goals. 22 goals. Chelsea ladies scored 22 goals. Man City scored only 10. Look at the goal difference. Goal difference of 12. My goodness. Our ladies are scoring the goals left and right. Yes, 7 games played so far. You know, it is very interesting to see the gap in the goal difference. Chelsea, Man City. Very, very interesting to see. Usually in the men's football, you would have seen Man City rather leading with goal difference. But you have seen the ladies, we are on top. That is a goal difference right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You see, for just 7 games and the goal difference is 22, it's just amazing. It is. It is amazing. Well, before I continue, it is actually a bit annoying of all our players to go on international duty and pull out. It's not just Romeo Lavia that pull out. Many other players also pull out, not because they sustain any serious injury, but for precautionary measures. I believe. For precautionary measures, most of them, they don't want to risk because the competition in the squad right now is said that most of our players don't want to take any risk to the national team, come back, and when they start nursing injury, they will end up losing their positions. But for me, it's annoying. Yes. Because the value of players sometimes depends also on the national team performance. Someone will say, well, it goes to benefit Chelsea more. Yes, to some extent. I know most of you are happy that they do withdraw from the national team assignment. But it has a negative effect. It has a negative effect. Of all of our players to go on international duty and pull out, I was thinking even Lavia would be top of the list, honestly, but he did not. He did not pull out immediately. He was the only one who actually went off injured with Arsenal. He went off injured with Arsenal. The rest, they just pull off for precautionary measures. And when the head coach, Domenico Tedesco, Belgium's coach, speaking about Lavia, he made it very clear. He said, then there were injuries today, like Romeo Lavia. Out of the pre-selection of 51 players, almost 20 were already unavailable. For you to understand. That is in Belgium camp alone. So, this, for me, it doesn't look like only Chelsea, but every other club, every other player. Like the Premier League, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, let's break it down quickly. The Premier League is getting tougher and tougher. The teams that last season we saw, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, all those mid-table teams, this season they are doing far better. And so every team and every player want to be fit. Nobody want to take the risk for the national teams. But trust me, like I said earlier on, it has its own negative effects. And that is my worry for these players. Especially when it comes to winning, winning awards internationally. It counts. And even that, our national teams also need our services, dear friend. Forget it. If you are from France, you want your club, your national team to win. If you are from Ghana, you want your national team to win. If you are from Nigeria, you want your national team to win. So these things have negative effects on even national teams. That is my only worry. I'm not saying that the players should not be protected. No, don't get me wrong. I know you will come for me. All right. quickly. Now let's go to tactics. Let's go to tactics. The next 5 minutes, I'll be letting you go. You see, one of the reasons why Enzo Maresca likes his wingers wide. We are on the tactics now. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons why Enzo Maresca likes his wingers wide is to stretch the back line of the opposition team, such that there are spaces in between their defense that we could exploit. By the 8 attacking those spaces, so that our 8 will be able to attack those spaces. The 8 attacking the box could act as, a decoy. The 8 attacking the spaces could act as a decoy to run through the wingers of the opposition and cut in and shoot or get their shots through. We've seen it when our winger, Modric, made a similar cut through. We've seen Pedro made a similar cut through. These are wingers, they made a cut through and scored a goal. Modric made a cut through and scored. Pedro Neto made a cut through and scored. The reason is that our wingers are all suited playing the inside winger. Our wingers are all used to, or they are best playing as inside winger forward rows. They love to cut through. Noni Madueke is probably the only one who can play while hugging the line, taking the ball on the line. Or it's only Noni Madueke that can probably play hugging the lines. Yes, the touch line. But I'm 100% certain if you ask him to choose over playing wide or playing in the half space, he would choose the latter. He would choose playing in the half space because he wants to score goals. You see, Sancho is the same. Neto scored his goal against Arsenal while attacking the space, like I said earlier on. Modric scored a goal before then, attacking the space. Another reason is that our only good goal scoring 8 is Cole Palmer. If we have to use Maresca's wide winger method, we will need 8 who have a feel for the net. We will need 8 who have a feel for the net. Enzo and especially Malo Gusto are not that type. Enzo Fernandez, but especially Malo Gusto is not that type. And that is why I am still not convinced with our head coach making use of Malo Gusto playing 8. Who is Nkuku? I asked this question, you guys. I said, where is Nkuku's exact position? Is it 9? Is it 10? Is it 8? What is his best place? Most of you were like, oh, Nkuku is 8, Nkuku is 9, Nkuku is 10, Nkuku is this. Listen, Nkuku, you see, I'm sorry. For one, I want Maresca to risk using Nkuku and Palmer together against the opponent. Against opponents we play after the international break. For you guys to see something. Felix as a sub for any of Jackson or Palmer or Nkuku. We are persistent with Caicedo. We are persisting with Caicedo right now. Caicedo Lavia. That's the pivot we have right now in the team, which provides more defensive security. We should be able to take the risks by playing Nkuku alongside Malo Gusto in the 8th. Another way is to play overlapping fullbacks. Ideally, if we want to play overlapping fullback, that means that we must have our captain Rhys James back. Yes. And also Gusto. We will have 2 10s in the Palmer and Nkuku with Gusto overlapping, allowing Palmer to cut in like last season. We saw it was more effective for even Cole Palmer himself. That is why last season he was scoring goals much more than he's scoring now. It's all about the system. You see, But I feel he will get the bench anyway if or after the international break. I mean, Noni Madueke could then be benched if we have to go by this system. If we have to go by what I'm saying, that means that Noni Madueke might probably be benched. Now, Neto's crosses and cutbacks will be rewarded more for Chelsea if we are able to bench Noni Madueke. Yeah. But then the issue is tracking back on the right flank. Tracking back on the right flank. If we have to bench Noni Madueke, Neto is not that type that tracks back that much. Noni is better tracking back than Neto. So the issue will be the tracking back on the right flank because Palmer isn't the same defensively as Noni. Cole Palmer is not the same as Noni. Pedro Neto is not the same as Noni. This makes the job of holding midfielder on that side, Lavia Casaido, job even more difficult. I'm about to conclude, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, we have a group of elite young talents, but squad planning has been decent. Squad planning. We have young talented squad. You know, so far our planning has been decent. We are not losing that much games. We are not scoring goals. And unlike when we started the season newly, right now we are not at the best. But I do feel it's a squad where you could make things work if you really want to get a job done. Especially because possession-based football is what we try to play. And if we want to do that, then we must hold on the ball for as long as possible. For as long as possible, then these issues could be resolved. If we can hold on the ball as long as possible, it means that there will not be much stress on our defense. And if there is not much stress on our defense, it means we can move the ball forward. And when the ball gets forward, more opportunities will be created for the forward. Ladies and gentlemen, my conclusion. Let's make Christopher Nkunku, Cole Palmer the 10th or the 8th double. Let Noni Madueke be benched for now. Against Leicester, let's give it a try. Yes, I am not too sure the condition of Romeo Lavia yet, but I will be hoping that Enzo Fernandez starts the next game as well against Leicester. Enzo Fernandez Casado, double pivot. Ladies and gentlemen, it is shout out time. Shout out to you guys. It is breakfast, and last night I didn't come your way in the afternoon. Yes, I presented only one item yesterday, only one episode yesterday. Today I'll try to come back later in the afternoon for more exclusives. Quickly, Nkunku is not a level of Chelsea. Who is this? Johannes. You kept saying that Christopher Nkunku is not Chelsea level. Well, Christopher Nkunku is one of the big boys in that team. Far ahead of players like Dewsbury Hall. So I'm not too sure. Christopher that we bought, we wait to see. Ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to you anyway, Johannes, wherever you are. This one says what? Chiedu, say what? SS. What is SS? Chiedu, please come again. Let me get you clearly. Francis Asamoah says, Salon. This is Frankly Asamoah once again, watching you from Accra, Ghana. I pray and hope that Badashile move to Juventus will come to materialize to pave a way for our sporting director to move quickly to sign Murillo to replace him. I also wish if they can sell or loan out the Sarsi to Strasbourg before signing Thomas Arojo, or the one our scouts team are monitoring in the EPL in upcoming January window. I hope and pray our sporting director to make sure they sign Osimhen in January window to lead the attacking line for us, because his style of striker is what Chelsea FC is missing. His presence is in our opponent box speaks a lot of volume, because he's very good in the air and can score different types of goals. So we need him to join the squad in January to help us win our matches and also to win trophies. Blue heart emoji, fire. Big shout out to you, Francis Asamoah from GH, Ghana. Well, I am not too sure if we'll be able to secure Osimhen in January. That will be difficult, but we wait to see. For Galatasaray to let him go in January, dear friend, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I know it's next summer window, possible. Yeah, very, very likely. All right. Asamoah against Salon. This is Franklin Asamoah watching you from Accra, Ghana. Nkuku is good as number 10 or as second striker. Second striker, yes, that is the exact position for Christopher Nkuku. Behind the main striker, that is where he's more effective. He's not like typical number 8 or typical number 10. He like the first 9 just behind the striker. That is why it is difficult with the system we are playing to play him alongside Nicholas Jackson. Because behind Jackson, that is where Cole Palmer and but anyway, big shout out to you, brother Franklin Asamoah from GH, Accra, Ghana. All right, and nephew Moses says, good morning, sir. Nkuku position is 10 and he can also play 9 positions. So when you say he does not have where to play, I wonder why a club should buy a player that does not have a position. And nephew Moses from Delta State, Nigeria. Moses, the fact remains, even the coach is from Pochettino. Till now, our head coach also said it. And when he was interviewed, he himself made it very clear. Christopher Nkuku himself made it clear that he is not number 9, he is not 10. He loves to play behind the striker, in between the space. And he's not a winger either. This is the challenge. This is the challenge for most coaches. So he is there as a utility in a forward within the forward line. Some may say he is a left winger. Some may say he is number 10 or 8. You see that everybody information places. That is, but you can tell. Oh, Jackson is a striker. Oh, Pedro Neto is this. This is that. But what about Christopher Nkuku? Anyway, big shout out to you, my dear friend, Anefio Moses from Delta State, Nigeria. This one says, good day, sir. Our women, they are top of their game. Then they play as a team. Our coach is fantastic. I love that. My name is Bright Fabian, aka Chelsea legend from Delta State, Nigeria. Chelsea legend from Delta State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you out there. This one says Christopher Nkuku is a left winger coming from Dominic, please let me have your full name next time. We said Christopher Nkuku is a left winger. You see, many are saying left winger also. Big shout out to you, Dominic. Frederick Amabe says, please, Mr. Selon Block, Nkuku is better than Jackson 100 times. Thanks. Frederick Amabe from Biasla State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you, Frederick from Delta State, Biasla State, Nigeria. All right, Chris Williams, my brother in Nigeria, says, I wish her quicker recovery. Talking about a lady that have an ACL injury, right? Great, in our women league. All right. He says, our women are very strong, very good goalkeeper, very good defenders with very good midfielders and very good finishers. Big shout out to you, Chris. He said Nkuku's best position is number 10. Big shout out to you, Chris from Nigeria. Elisha Bassi, my good friend, long time. What's up, man? It is a good day, good week. We are beginning the week with strong energy. Well, he said, first of all, good morning to you all out there. Mr. Selom, I hear when you are crying that your country are not qualified for 2025 AFCON. And you remember that the same country that cannot qualify for AFCON, that same country stopped Super Eagles of Nigeria not go to the World Cup in Qatar. That same country that called Ghana caused us a pain that we all go out and fight our head coach. That because, and also fight our players and also spoil things in our stadium. Of Black Stars of Ghana, please, you people should face this one alone. Thank you. Up Super Eagles for life, blue heart emoji. Oh, we should face it alone, right? Because we gave people a big pain last time around, but making people not to go to the World Cup. Well, it is our time. We are feeling it. By the way, we will still go to the World Cup, 2026 World Cup in US of A. Yeah, we are at the verge of qualifying. Nigeria is still struggling to qualify for the World Cup. When the World Cup games were being played earlier this year, Nigeria was losing most of the games. Whilst Ghana was winning those matches. So wait for that. We see who will go to the World Cup again in US. This time around, it's going to be Canada, USA, and Mexico hosting the World Cup in 2026. Big shout out to you, my good friend Elisha Bazi. The next one says from Kole Wisdom, say, good morning, Mr. Selon. Yesterday, our women made my day happy in Kuku 10. All right. Big shout out to you, Kole Wisdom, G8 Ghana. I think from Takra, the Kole Wisdom from Tadi Ghana. All right. This one say, bro, stop calling Jackson ahead of Nkuku. Really? Rizwan says you stop calling Jackson ahead of Christopher Nkuku. All right, big shout out to you, Rizwan. Big shout out to you, Ade. All right, the last three. Youngu Joffrey says, good morning, Mr. Selon. Chelsea problem is our coach Enzo Maresca, because Chelsea have a big players in respect of the age. Enzo Fernandez, Christopher Nkuku, João Felix are all big names. How can you totally bench them on big games, knowing fully well that Jackson and Cole Palmer are weak? For me, I will be disappointed if Chelsea happen to lose any of these players. Those guys are happy with our club, Chelsea. Maresca should find a way to be introducing them in a game, even if it's a second half, so that our players will be happy. Thank you, Mr. Analyst. I'm Youngu Joffrey, watching from Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you, my brother Youngu Joffrey from Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you. All right, I think the last two here. This one says Nkuku can fit as a left winger or number 10. Coming from who? Chance Kanyika. Big shout out to you, Chance Kanyika. Wherever you are, let me know your location and your original name next time. The last one says Nkuku is number 8, my brother. Chelsea women are wonderful. Big shout out to you. Your name is what? Izu Onyenwe. Big shout out to you, Izu, wherever you are. Guys, it is your breakfast. Let me end it here. I'll be back and see you guys in the next one in the afternoon. Shalom and peace.